We are honored to present the Honorary Doctor of Laws degree to the Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson. Our faculty and Board of Trustees voted unanimously to bestow Spelman's highest honor upon Justice Brown Jackson, whose life and legacy are deeply aligned with Spelman's founding mission and the exemplar of our tagline, "A choice to change the world." We are beyond honored to present this degree to a trailblazer who took her seat as an Associate Justice in June of 2022, making her the first Black woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. Honorable Justice Brown Jackson was born in Washington, D.C. and raised in Miami, Florida. Despite being encouraged to set her sights lower, she applied to Harvard Radcliffe, where she ultimately attained an A.B. magna cum laude and a J.D. cum laude from Harvard Law. Like our graduates today, she has publicly celebrated past generations, her family, including her parents, who are both graduates of HBCUs, a belief in herself, all of these as crucial to her success. I encourage you to read her soon-to-be-released memoir, Lovely One, which details what she refers to as her unlikely journey. Her illustrious career includes service as a law clerk at different levels and for various judges, among them Judge Patty Saris of the U.S. District Court for the District of Massachusetts, Judge Bruce Sela of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit, and Justice Stephen Breyer of the Supreme Court of the United States. She's worked in private practice, served as the Vice Chair of the U.S. Sentencing Commission, and as an Assistant Federal Public Defender in Washington. Justice Brown Jackson was later nominated to the U.S. District for the District of Columbia by President Barack Obama. She was also appointed to the U.S. Court of Appeals before being nominated by President Joe Biden as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court for her extraordinary character, independent-mindedness, and uncompromising integrity. In her acceptance speech upon confirmation, she said, "I am also ever buoyed by the leadership of the generations past who helped to light the way. Dr. Martin Luther King, Justice Thurgood Marshall, and my personal heroine, Judge Constance Baker Motley. They and so many others did the heavy lifting that made this day possible. Justice Jackson, we thank you for continuing to light the way for this generation of women who will also take up the mantle of justice, each in her own way, and continue to build a nation that honors its ideals of democracy and liberty and justice for all. We are deeply grateful to have you with us today to accept our highest honor and officially join the Spelman College family."
President Gale, upon the recommendation of the faculty and the vote of the Board of Trustees of Spelman College, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the Honorable Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, candidate for the honorary degree, Doctor of Laws.
Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the honor, rights, and privilege appertaining thereto. Congratulations, Justice Brown Jackson, and welcome to the Spelman family. Thank you so much for being here, and we would love if you would say a few words.
Now, I know that you've made a lot of sacrifices, and they haven't been easy, but I'm here to tell you they are well worth it in the long run. You are now well prepared. You are now well trained. You can take on any future challenge and succeed if you stick with it and put your mind to it. As I said, I wasn't really prepared to give a speech, but my quick message to you is this. When you face adversity from this day forward, and you will, persevere. There's no turning back now. There's no need to, because you do have everything you need to forge ahead. Just remember, I did it, and if I can do it, you can do it too. 2 years ago, I faced a challenge that some of you might remember. A grueling confirmation process under extraordinarily stressful circumstances in the most public way imaginable. It's hard for me now to even recall, much less describe, the pressure that I was under. It felt like a long, dark tunnel that I had to go through. But I made it, and I'm here to report that there was a light at the end of that tunnel. I got the first glimpse of that when Senator Cory Booker used his time during my hearing not to ask many questions, but to lift me up. Many of you were watching when Senator Booker said to me, "I'm not gonna let anybody steal my joy." He described what it meant to an elderly black man who had been working in the Senate for decades when he, Senator Booker, first arrived, the fourth black person ever popularly elected as a member of the Senate. He said the man came up to him crying, and he just kept saying, "It's so good to see you here. It's so good to see you here." Senator Booker then turned to me and he said, and I'm paraphrasing now, "When I look at you, I get emotional because I know what it has taken for you to sit in that seat. I'm sorry, you're a person that is so much more than your race or gender, but it's hard for me to look at you and not see my mom, not see my cousins. I see my ancestors and yours, and nobody's gonna steal that joy." He said, "You've earned this spot. You are worthy. You are a great American." Standing here now, I have that same feeling when I look out at all of you. It's hard for me to look at you and not see my daughters. I see in your faces the hopes and dreams that we all have for a brighter day and a better future. Class of 2024, you have earned your degrees. You are worthy. You are great Americans. This is a joyous day. Before I take my seat, I want to leave you with a poem that I discovered recently and I thought would be most fitting for this occasion. This poem celebrates each of you as a young woman, a daughter, who might well go on to be a mother of daughters as I am. It is about the capacity of women to influence their circumstances, to change their families and communities, and ultimately the world, if given a chance and encouraged to do so. Your families have done the crucial work of supporting and encouraging you. And so this poem is an homage to them as well for helping to produce you and sharing you with all of us, which brings hope for a better tomorrow. The poem is called "If You Raise Free Daughters" by Lesle Honore. If you raise free daughters, they will be the keys that unlock your shackles. They will teach you how to live without ceilings. They will show you that the space between dreams and reality is just a beautiful leap. If you raise free daughters, they will teach you to unlearn, unprogram, unpack everything you know about being a woman, about loving, about trusting. You will speak to yourself differently so that you can speak to her differently. You will love yourself differently so that she can love herself infinitely. If you raise free daughters, they will fly far and high, and you will hold your breath, bite your tongue, fight the urge to keep them close. If you raise free daughters, your throat will be tight as they take flight into the Milky Way. If you raise free daughters, they will correct you, and you will be humbled because they will be right. If you raise free daughters, they will grow into free women, and they will never understand what it feels like to make yourself smaller to be loved, dim your light to be accepted, be silent to be safe. They will lead, and you will follow. Because if you raise free daughters, they will break generations of long lies that you are limited, less than, incapable, unelectable, unfit. They will never know a limitation. They will forge new paths, trailblazers, fighters, winners. Hope will not be a mustard seed. It will be a battle cry, a victory. They will breathe courage and never leave a sister behind. If you raise free daughters, they will free you and then free the world. Thank you. Thank you.